The Bose Ultra Open Earbuds versus the Shokz OpenFit. I've had both of them from day one, and this is an honest, unsponsored video of the two. I value each and every one of you guys, so I'm gonna be pretty direct. I prefer the Bose Ultra Open Earbuds, but watch this video because I feel like the majority of you guys, the better choice is to go with the Shokz OpenFit. So that's why I broke this down in 8 different categories so you can make the best buying decision for yourself. Starting off with comfort. Both of these are going to have an open ear design, making them very popular for runners or really anyone wanting to be aware of their surroundings. Now, if you guys follow me, you know that these last 18 weeks I've been training for this half marathon. And throughout all those runs, I've mainly been using these, the Shokz OpenFit. I usually don't like an over-the-ear hook design. First of all, if I'm using these for running, I tend to wear sunglasses, and an over-the-ear hook design plus sunglasses, it just kind of makes my ear feel a little fatigued, but Shokz is definitely the exception for this. It has one of the best, or maybe the best, over-the-ear hook. It's super thin and it's made out of this nice material that can hold well when you put it on your ear, and on top of that, it's extremely light. But then, Bose came out with these, and this solved the over-the-ear hook issue, and it's like they pinch your ear and they hook on to a way that you don't really even notice that they're there, and on top of that, they're even lighter than the Shokz. They both are going to stay on your ear very well. It's honestly a little bit difficult to say one is better than the other because they're completely different designs. But if I had to pick one, I'll give this point to Bose. Honestly, for longer periods of time, I don't even notice that they're on. Microphone test while I'm on the train to pick up our bib for tomorrow's half marathon. We're going to start with the Bose.
Okay, so now the audio should be coming from the Bose Open Earbuds. It is really loud in here. The train is loud and there's people around me, but let's switch it to the Shokz OpenFit. I know these have been doing really well because I've been using these last couple of weeks during all my runs, and I know the microphone works well. But what do you guys think? How does it compare? The train is just as loud, and I'm speaking at a normal kind of higher indoor voice.
Yeah, this point's easily gonna go to Shokz. Now, let's talk about battery life, and I'm gonna be quick here because I don't want to bore you guys with specs. You'll see that they're both very, very similar. Now, Bose does have this audio mode called immersive audio, and if you have that turned on, it's gonna, of course, impact the battery life, but more on that later. Now, let me remind you that I've used both of these, not just for working out, but for everyday life, doing errands and whatnot. So they're both gonna get 1 point. So we secured the bib for tomorrow's race. Now for this next category, sound quality. It's definitely one of the most important ones, and honestly, I want to go over some of the most noticeable differences, and that is that the Bose are not going to go as loud in volume as the Shokz. Let me show you. I am now exactly 3 feet away from my microphone, and these are the Bose. I'm going to put them at 100%. So even though the Shokz gets louder, the Bose, in regards to quality, it's gonna sound richer, it's gonna sound bolder. So the reality is, I would really give this point to Bose because, hear me out, Shokz, when you put the volume like really close to 100%, when it's at 90% and above, the sound starts collapsing. Now, don't get me wrong, the audio on the Shokz isn't bad at all because there's a reason why I've been using the Shokz versus, I don't know, this is my collection that I have here right now so far, so it's pretty ridiculous. But the Shokz still have good audio, but Bose came in and yeah, the sound quality is better. Plus, on top of that, these are open earbuds. So if you're listening to these at 90% to 100, there's so much sound leakage that you could tell if you're running with someone or you're on a plane, that next person's gonna hear you. So for those reasons, yeah, Bose gets this point. These next two categories are the reason why I'm using the Bose on race day. And the first one is the case. They are the same size, almost the same size as AirPods Pro, so that makes them really compact. Versus Shokz, they are a little bit bigger. The fact that I could put these into this small pocket right here is a big deal for me. Now, both of them, they're not gonna have wireless charging. So for this reason right here, we're gonna give this point to Bose. Again, they're completely different here. So the Shokz uses touch controls. Some of you guys call it like a digital touch. And the Bose, they actually have buttons on the back here. I have to emphasize that the controls on the Shokz OpenFit, they're not bad, and they do work with gloves. It's just comparing it to Bose, I prefer Bose's actual buttons. There's just something satisfying about being able to feel and hear the controls. Like if you're skipping a song or going back, I just prefer them. Also, you should know that if you care about volume, hope you guys could see the screen. Bose, you can control the volume directly on the earbuds versus Shokz you can't. So this is the part in the video where Bose really disappoints here. You would think that since Bose is kind of known for a more premium brand that you would expect more premium features, but no. Shokz has this feature called multi-point connection. And what it is it allows your earbuds to connect to 2 or more devices at the same time. So I'm wearing them right now. And on days like today, when I'm editing, I can connect these to my MacBook and to my iPhone at the same time. And when I'm running, I usually like to connect my iPhone and my Garmin at the same time. Bose doesn't have a true multi-point connection. It has a very impractical feature where through the earbuds, you could toggle between devices that you've already connected to. Toggling the connection between my Garmin and my iPhone that's on my waist, it's just not very practical. Like, it's not quick enough. So I have it connected to my Garmin right now, and if someone calls, I feel it vibrating. But by that time I switch the connection, I already missed the call. The price on these couldn't be any more different. Bose is $300, Shokz is $180. Now, if you're gonna ask me, I prefer the Bose because I value comfort and touch controls the most out of all these categories. You could tell I wear glasses like 24/7, so the Bose are better for me, but I feel like the Shokz OpenFit are probably a better choice for most of you guys. I don't know. Let me know what you're going with, but I'm gonna hold on to the Bose and use them for my future runs, mainly hoping that they get the multi-point connection. And when they do, I'll make a YouTube short on that, so subscribe, why not? But if you want a detailed video on the Shokz OpenFit, here's a video right here for that, and here's a playlist on earbuds, open earbuds that I made unbiased, unsponsored with my own money. Hope this was of some value for you guys. I'll see you next week.